Here's another podcast from the Pod Bros Network.
Hello, everybody. It is the Jean Pod Van Dam cast. It is Jeff and John in studio. We just got done going to Amazon and shopping around by using that Pod Bros link at podbros.com. We scrolled down, we clicked that Amazon button. It didn't cost us anything, but we helped to support the Pod Bros. And I think they said thank you to us for doing it, because that keeps the lights on in their studio, helps them with rent, helps them with equipment and whatnot like that.
Keeps them alive.
We also went to patreon.com/podbros and we donated to the Jean Pod Van Dam cast here because we got a super secret awesome episode from donating for only $1. $1 got us a sweet episode, and we helped out the Pod Bros as well. That was really awesome, really amazing. But we can't tell you. We've been sworn to secrecy in our own crazy Kumite sort of way.
Involved murdering a bull.
Yeah.
In a cave.
In a cave, yes, exactly.
Bare-handed.
Really weird. And Bruce Springsteen, so. What's up? Oh, here we go. Rate us 5 stars on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher app. Leave us a review. That gets us into other people's ears. You guys should know about this already by now. And tee.pub/lic/podbros. That is our T Public store. We have a few shirts and whatnot up on there. You can get pillows and phone case covers. My work actually gave me a phone now.
Ooh,
I know
it's not a Windows phone, is it?
No, surprisingly not.
Hell yeah.
It's actually an iPhone, and I've never had an iPhone before. I know, right? So now I can actually go on tee.pub/lic/podbros, and I can actually get a phone case for now my phone.
Hell yeah.
Pretty excited about that, so we'll see how it goes. All right, that's enough about that. That's enough of our shilling for the day. Today we are talking about our top 5 favorite Van Damme movies. We're pretty excited about this. We're taking a break in between this and what was going to be Kickboxer. We were going to do Kickboxer next after we did Bloodsport, but we found the Time Cop TV series online. So we want to watch all of those before they get taken down. So Time Cop, the TV series, is up next, and we're going to do Time Cop, the sequel, and then we'll get into Kickboxer. But today, we're not talking about any of that. Jeff and I are going to go back and forth. Our top 5 Van Damme films, and we know that there's going to be some crossover. We might spice this up a little bit. I might add something to it. A big shout out to David Stroop, for suggesting this. He was the one who made that awesome mix that we talked about earlier on. You guys check that out as well.
It's my study mix.
It really is, dude. It's my everything mix. Check that out. And so big shout outs. Thank you, David, for telling us about that. And we'll get into this now. Jeff, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? You want to do a split off, see who has the better splits, and then that person chooses if they should receive or kick off. So
I don't know if I like the way this is being phrased.
Kumite.
Should we do it like 1 for 1, or should we just like name 5?
No, one for one. You go, and these are in no particular order.
Okay, I'll probably name the first one.
Yeah, go ahead. Name your one of yours in your top 5.
It was really hard to pick.
And then maybe
5.
Yeah, I know, right? Maybe I'll make you pick out of those 5 your number 1.
Oh, you're really putting me on the spot.
Yeah. We'll do that. We'll make it a little bit interesting here.
It's like picking your favorite child,
Yeah.
But I tried to think about it, like, should I go by what I think that is...
Go by what your heart says.
See, that's what I ended up doing. So Cyborg definitely is in my top 5.
You know what? I'm crossing off my list too. I was wondering if we should do it kind of Language of Bromance style. And if you don't know who the Language of Bromance is, check out podbros.com. They're another show on there. And after every so often many episodes, they do a draft episode of their top 5s of whatever that they come up with. Really cool concept. I think someone actually stole that from him. I saw on Twitter another draft podcast, and I was like, I'm pretty sure LOB's been doing this for a while now.
Fuckers.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, I thought about doing that, and then it would be like, oh, crap, because you said it, I can't put it on my list. I think that would just get way too hard.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely Cyborg is one of them on my list as well. But,
It was just so ambitious and...
you know, yeah, for the time,
Mhm.
like, it's absolutely crazy. The whole idea of it, absolutely crazy. To hear everything that was, what it was even wanting to be even more so,
Yes.
just blows my mind. I mean, I have such fond memories as a child watching this.
I know.
You know, thank you TBS Superstation,
Yes.
basically.
For showing it every day, basically.
Yeah, man. It's near and dear to my heart, for real.
Hell yeah.
So, I guess that it turns around to me, and it's not going to be much of a surprise. Bloodsport, definitely.
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, is that in your top 5
Of
too?
course.
I figured as much.
Very high up.
It's just one of those films. It's not only do I just love it as a film, and you guys already know this, and that's why I'm just getting it out of the way now, because it's just awesome. But it also, you know, reminds me of childhood once again. Reminds me of basically my introduction to Van Damme from my brothers. And they're like, this guy's sweet, and, you know, martial arts is sweet. And so I watched this and was like, this is absolutely amazing. Mind-blowing for, you know, at the time, probably a 4-year-old,
Yeah,
3-year-old.
especially since you knew for a fact that was all based on true historical
I know,
events.
I know. And I really did want to learn Duke's Ryu,
Yep.
like, after seeing it.
We still can.
We can. I'm like,
Join the Black Dragon Society.
yeah, man. Let's join them.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh, you know what? I think you just made up a Patreon exclusive
Hell yeah.
right there for $2 or $2 Pod Van Dam Cast tier. Join our Black Dragon Society.
Learn how to kill a bull with a single blow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. All right, so we've already taken 2 off of our list, so now we
Yeah.
have 3 more left.
Let's see. My turn.
Yep.
Well, this I'm pretty sure will probably be in your top 5 as well, but Kickboxer.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
I'm trying to clear out all the ones
I know,
know.
right? Yeah, exactly. Kickboxer. It's almost like it's a given. I think. Oh man, what was it? I don't know how many episodes back. I told you I went on Facebook and I asked. I put out a status saying, "Hey, to my friends, when you think of Jean-Claude Van Damme, what film comes to mind?" And pretty much all the films that we just mentioned were the ones
Yep.
that everyone picked. Besides, like Dave picked No Retreat, No Surrender, and a couple others picked some other ones. But yeah, definitely Kickboxer is just it's up there. People love it. They know it. They are reminded by the booty dancing from
Mhm.
Van Damme in it. What isn't great about it?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's just the perfect film.
Yeah, so that takes out 3 of our 5.
Yep.
And you know, and this was when it was getting harder. I started thinking, I was in the same boat as you. I was like, do I go with my heart or do I go
Yeah,
with
should
my
I try
head?
to go like objectively or just the
Yeah.
ones that I enjoyed the most
Yeah.
watching?
And up next for me is Universal Soldier.
Oh yeah.
Is it on yours? Or did it barely
man.
not make the list? Because it was hard for me. It was hard
Yeah.
for me to decide. Like, it
I'm
really...
still kind of like flipping a coin on it because it was between that and whether that or Lionheart made the list.
I know, me too, man. Me too. Me too. Seriously, the same exact thing. Exact thing. It was between that and Lionheart.
I think Dolph being in the movie though does put it on the list.
It does. That's
There has to
same
be at
here.
least one Dolph movie.
I
in the
know.
list.
I agree, and that's partially it too. The whole thing, everything about it's just ridiculous,
Yep.
and absolutely kind of crazy because you think it's just an action film, but it's also sci-fi.
Yeah,
and
sci-fi
it's just
horror.
a horror film. Yeah. It's absolutely mind blowing, and the fact that it tried to, revitalize Van Damme's career at the tail end of the '90s with
Mhm.
Goldberg in it with a sequel, and then what we got all throughout the
Dark Times.
yeah,
The
So,
Decline.
yeah, but definitely on my list.
Let's see. We're at number.
So this is
four for
your
four.
fourth.
Yeah.
But I mean, Unisol on yours as well. Then
Yeah.
So this will be your- so this will be
there's
your
only,
fifth.
I only
Hey,
got
look at
one.
this.
Yeah.
Look,
Let's
this
see
is-
if you pick the same one this time.
okay, yeah.
Street Fighter.
Oh, see, this was the other one. I did not pick Street Fighter. I almost did. I was going back and forth between that two and the one that I chose, which I'm sure you're going to figure out now. Yeah, Street Fighter was just, it was the holy shit Van Damme like made it.
Yep.
You know, it was Van Damme. I just rewatched. It's funny. You posted on Facebook the Mortal Kombat stuff, and I'm not kidding you. After you posted that, I like just finished watching Mortal Kombat on Netflix because I wanted to watch it again.
Yeah.
Van
it still
Damme-
holds up.
It does, man.
It's really entertaining.
Van Damme chose Street Fighter over Mortal Kombat, even though the character in Mortal Kombat is based off him as
I
Johnny
know.
Cage. It's just absolutely crazy, but like, to be completely honest, probably the smarter choice.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you can't really go wrong with Raul Julia playing M. Bison too, man. Like the fact that he did that is just kind of mind blowing.
Yeah.
But it's awesome in a way. It worked. It really worked.
You could
out.
tell he had fun with the role.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The whole movie was very tongue in cheek. Like it didn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah, exactly.
It understood that the premise was so ridiculous that you can't really try to act like it's a magnum opus or anything.
Right.
Of course, it was a magnum opus, but
yeah,
of,
man.
of a different kind.
Yeah, of a different kind, right? Yeah, exactly. And unfortunately, we didn't get Van Damme reprising Guile in the sequel with Chun-Li, but we'll review that when time comes.
One sweet day.
So yeah, speaking of some sequels and whatnot, and knowing what the film is itself, we'll talk about this a little bit after. But I'll finish this up. Okay, so number 5 for me would be Time Cop. I put Time Cop on. You know, everything was so hard because, like, you think about
There's so
this.
many
I thought about
classics.
Hard Target, and
that was a really good one too.
it was really tough. Did I want Mullet Van Damme, or did I want kind of semi-Mullet Van Damme from Time Cop? And I went with Time Cop just because of the craziness of that at the time too.
He did a lot. When you think about it, he did a lot more sci-fi than you would realize.
Yeah, exactly. Same matter cannot occupy same space. Everything about it. It's cracked me up.
It's one of the weirder.
It's a weird. It's a weird film, but like it just works. I don't know, everything about it just works in a weird way.
He makes the perfect Time Cop.
He does. He really does. So yeah, that's our top 5, and that's no surprise. And so before I continue this on, I got to take a break because I heard some news that semi-involves Van Damme. I don't know if he's going to be in it, but the Expendables 4 is coming out.
No kidding.
It's been greenlit, and Terry Crews actually made news with it. He refused to be a part of it.
Really?
Yeah, because of the whole situation involved, and something happened. You know how Terry was sexually assaulted by some guy?
Yes, that's.
They basically
50 Cent attacked him about it. And,
oh, really? I didn't know about that.
yeah, he said he wasn't like. Oh, he just said, like who the hell would let a man sexually assault him? Like all this other, stuff. Like there was a huge backlash about it immediately.
Oh, jeez, I didn't.
And
hear
then he was
that.
making fun of him about it. Like
man.
what kind of a man are you? Like all this other shit.
Oh my gosh. Well, now I feel bad that I took a photo with 50 Cent. Because I mean, like, really, when a dude just randomly decides he's gonna try stuff on you,
Yeah.
what do you like? It's not like you were goading him into it, right? Like, I mean, the dude just was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this without warning."
Yeah.
And Terry Crews was like, "What the fuck?" Which I think a lot of us would
Very
be
natural
like,
reaction.
yeah. And he told people about it, but apparently, I think they kind of blackmailed him into basically being like, "Hey, we'll let you do Expendables 4 if you drop the case, and we'll give you a large chunk of money for doing it."
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it was something weird like that, and that's where they're at with that. So I was really bummed to hear that.
Yeah, that's
actually.
sad. Hail Caesar is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I know, man. I know. And it's sad that the studio supposedly, allegedly did that. It was just like, hey, we'll make you a bigger character or whatever. We'll give you more money in this if you drop the case or whatever
Wow.
with it. And, I know there was more to it than that, so I apologize. Just type it in. You'll see it on Google. The Google News. But yeah, so that's where we're at with Expendables 4. The action star inside of me, the action star fan inside of me. Not the action star. I'm nowhere near an action star.
There aren't any action stars inside of you currently.
No, not currently, but maybe,
One sweet
soon.
day.
Yeah, and then I can get into Expendables 5. Man. Anyway, yeah, that one side of me is like, I'm hyped for this, but then the human side being like, that's a really shitty thing to do. What can I do as a fan? Oh, I cannot give them my money.
Yeah. So you're gonna pirate it.
So yeah, I know I can pirate it, and then Expendables 5 will be taking on the pirates of the internet seas. So yeah, so there's that little break, that segue that I didn't even totally mean to do, but yeah, okay. So your top 5, we already mentioned them. What would you say was your number 1?
Oh man, that's
for
so
me, it's
rough.
really easy. For me, it's like it's a no-brainer. Everyone already screamed it.
Yeah,
So
Bloodsport.
yeah.
It's
no
you got to
brainer.
give it to Bloodsport. It's weird because like I loved Street Fighter growing up so much.
Yeah.
That's because I was always a big fan of the game too, and Kyle's my
yeah.
favorite character. And I was like, oh, John Claude Van Damme's playing Kyle. It's so cool.
I know,
And
man. Your worlds meshed
yeah,
together.
it was.
Yeah, dude.
I had the action figures and everything, and
Awkward boners that you didn't know how to explain.
hell yeah. But yeah, you got to give it to Bloodsport. It's just the ultimate martial arts action movie. It's so many movies have the exact same premise and
They tried.
Yeah,
They tried. It's just that one does it.
it's
man.
the quintessential
Yeah.
martial arts tournament film.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of is what really was the start of Jean-Claude Van Damme cast.
Yep.
And we couldn't wait to get to Bloodsport.
I know.
Even though the more and more we talk about it, the more and more I think No Retreat, No Surrender may be my favorite episode that we've ever done because it was such a funny, like, no sleeper. Like, I did not
Yeah.
expect so much to come from this.
I didn't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't what I got.
I know, man. I know. It really set the tone.
Yes.
No Retreat, No Surrender really set the tone for the rest of Jean-Claude
We
Van
never
Damme
looked
cast.
back
Yep.
after that.
So yeah, now I want to do something else, something a little bit more here. And that is, if you had to pick one Van Damme film from the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and 2010s, and I didn't let you know about this, so this is really like, this is right off.
Pouncing on me now, some
Yeah, man.
yellow journalism.
Sorry. So on the bright side of it is you can easily, well, it's going to be tough for you, but you easily with your top 5 list can get your 80s and 90s
Mhm.
picks. It's the 2000s and the 2010s that are going to be a little bit harder.
It's true.
So I'll go first with mine.
Okay.
Just so that I won't make it. It's going to be a little bit harder for you to try to remember the 2000s.
Oh,
Obviously, Bloodsport in the 80s.
Mhm.
I picked Time Cop in the 90s. This was harder for me to pick in the 90s out of everything.
yeah, he did a lot.
I mean,
of great
he did a
movies in the
lot
90s.
in the 90s, and I chose Time Cop, and I don't know why, because now I'm kind of like going back and forth. So anyway, I'm sticking with that. In the 2000s, I chose Until Death because that movie was so crazy,
Yes.
blew my mind. It was absolutely, I don't even know. That was a tough one too because I almost went with JCVD
Oh man.
because that one was really good. And I want to say what JCVD came out in 2009, maybe?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. 2008. So yeah, that one it was tough between those two. I really liked Until Death though because of
Mhm.
just what it was, and Van Damme played a heroin addict, and
Yeah.
a heroin addict cop. So he had his own vices. And then in the 2010s, I would definitely say Expendables 2 as Jean Villain.
Yeah, he was
So,
amazing in that.
Yeah, he really did a great job, which I was really like hoping to hear that he's coming back for Expendables 4, but who knows? And now I don't know what to do.
I know. With our lives in general.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. So yeah, can you easily give me your 80s and 90s?
Yes. 80s would be Bloodsport, of course. 90s would be Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
2000s, man.
This is a tough one,
It
man.
really is. Not Derailed, I can say that.
Not Derailed.
I really enjoyed Replicant.
I know. That was a good one too, man. That was one of the ones.
I thought that was the 90s, but it was early 2000s.
No, it was early
yeah.
2000s. Yeah.
Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Replicant just to pick something
Nice.
different.
That's a good one. I like it with Michael Rooker, who's awkwardly taking Van Damme's clothes off and his whitey tighties when his mom comes in, and his mom's just like acting like nothing happened.
Yet another bizarre science fiction film.
I know, man. I know.
Then 2010s, Oh, man. I really liked him in the Kickboxer reboots.
Yeah, dude. That was a good one, too.
But I'd probably have to go with Expendables, too, because he really made the movie, I felt.
Oh, I know, man.
He was the big
know.
selling point for me. You know,
Yeah.
like when I heard that, I was like, ah.
Yeah,
I was going to see it anyway, but that really threw me over.
I know, especially when it was like, hey, he's actually playing one of the bad guys. Like, smart move on his point, because he probably knew that he was gonna have to share screen time with everyone. And then Van Damme, being the egomaniac that he is, was just like, why don't I play the bad guy? And then he's like, okay, now, because I know when Expendables 3 came out, he talked about, you know, them putting him back in for the next one in Expendables 4. And then everyone's like, how would you do it? And it's like, it's an Expendables franchise movie. You can fucking easily do it.
You could clone him. He could be his twin brother.
Speaking of which, did you see Jet Li? Like the current photo of Jet Li?
No. What happened?
Let me just show you this.
I'm scared.
And I don't know if it's just... Everyone was really scared when they saw this photo of him.
Did he get a sex change or something?
No sex change. Not yet, anyway.
Damn it.
So I'm going to show you this.
Uh-oh. Oh, my God. It's like he fucking got old or something.
I know.
When did he get bald?
That's what I was
Has he been
trying
wearing hair pieces?
You know, he must have been pulling like a Sean Connery, you know? All this time.
No shit.
I think he explained... He's not that old. 1963 is when he was born. So, you know, I mean, he's in his 50s.
Yeah.
But...
I would have win.
I loved his and Dolph exchange.
Yes.
And
bring it on, Happy Feet.
Oh,
man.
Oh, dude. So he actually responded to that photo. People were like seriously worried for him, myself included.
Well, I mean,
him.
He looks older, but I'm assuming, he's just got older.
He and I don't know why the Washington Post really. Okay,
he doesn't look like he's like sick or anything.
No, he talked about he's like doing great and feeling great.
It's just what communism does for you, you know?
That's exactly what I always say. Better dead than red.
You know, speaking of communists, when are they going to put Jackie Chan in an Expendables movie?
You know, I think they were trying to get him for the longest time, and he just wasn't doing it.
He's very patriotically Chinese, like a big supporter.
Yeah, he is, man. He is. He really is. He's like got like China's highest, basically kind of like our highest medal, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Highest civilian medal.
Highest civilian medal in China, I believe. He's done a lot of terrific charitable work over there, though, too.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the dude that you want to. If you don't want people to see, you know, the downside of what your country does, you show them everything that Jackie Chan does.
Yep, Jackie Chan and their new lasers.
Yep. Jet Li recently battled hyperthyroidism, a condition that can cause fatigue and weight loss. So that's the whole reason why he's saying
hyperthyroidism's nothing to sneeze at.
No, it's not, man. He's saying I'm doing great and feeling great. So yeah,
he did look pretty skinny.
Yeah, I think that's partially it. You know, that's the one thing. When people get too skinny, you start to look like frail. Yeah, and that's where it gets kind of scary. But yeah, so glad I got your legitimate reaction on that.
Yeah, you surprised me with that one.
Yeah. So I think that's it, man. I think that about wraps it up.
Hell
right?
yeah.
Let's leave on Jet Li actually saying he feels great. And,
it's good to know.
You know, it is. It is good to know that
I wasn't just seeing the picture and saying, "Oh God, Jet Li's dying,"
like everyone else, huh? No, because we here at the John Pod Van Dam Cast do our research,
that's
right?
Only facts.
Yep, and then we generalize it, and then we're not really sure because we did our research a few weeks ago and we don't write down it. So. Anyway, yeah, thank you all for listening to that. Let us know what your top 5. You can let us know at thebros@podbros.com. I think damcast@gmail.com or JPVDamcast. JPVDamcast@gmail.com if you really want to do that. Or at Damcast on Twitter. Or, I think that's it, really. I haven't set up any other social media for us
yet.
So, yeah. All right, cool. That about wraps it up. I'm glad that our tops are, We're
Very
both
similar.
Very similar, yeah. Sorry, I'm sure this made for not as fun an episode for you guys, but it
cemented our bond.
Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth.
Our blood pact.
Yep. Now, if you'll excuse us, you have been listening to another episode of the Jean-Pod Van Damme cast. We are going to go get some action stars inside of us.